the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you.
Right. So that day when you went out there the very first time and you were talking to him, did you ask him about, because I listened to those interviews you did with him, and I don't know if all of it was recorded, about like what he did that day on June 15th. Do you remember what he told you he was doing that day?
He was towing vehicles out scrap. I think he was towing. I would assume it was towing for scrap or towing vehicles to a scrapyard or something. I mean, I'm guessing he was, but I know that he was taking them to a junkyard. I don't know if you get money for that or how that works. I assume that's probably what he was doing. He always has all kinds of. You guys have seen his trailer property with all of those. I mean, it looks like a junkyard at times. Like
right.
Sometimes it's worse than others, but anyways, that's what he was supposedly doing. It would have been all afternoon, so it would have been around. I think probably the first time he went out was when he ran into Andy at around 3 to 3:30. Him and his girlfriend left, and so I think he said he came back and was done with all that around 8:30, and then that's when he saw all the police presence. So
right. Now,
I don't know that for sure.
Right. He did say he saw another truck out there that day, but he can't remember who it was.
Yeah, he saw that right before he had seen Andy pass.
You know, you'd think out of 4 cameras, you'd be able to look at one of them and see that truck. See, there's no remembering when you have it on footage.
I think the other question that I have is, who did he say was up there that he saw around his property that day? Was it just him and Laura? Arnold? He said he saw Chad Arnold, and Chad Arnold was there with him while he was doing
I guess
the
so.
cars.
I don't I'm not even sure about that situation. I don't know if he talks about it in those conversations I recorded or not. But I can't remember why Chad was there.
Right. Well, I mean, I think you would probably need help if you probably need help if you're scrapping and loading vehicles and stuff.
That's true. So he probably was going with them.
They're probably helping him. That's what I would think. You know, I pulled up a map and I was looking at Fred Hill's house and the Roy Simpson's house, the Jamie's auto disposal. And then also I looked up where Chad Arnold was living. And Chad Arnold was living at 152 California Road in Churchill, which is also on that path going to the disposal yard. So I thought it was kind of interesting if he was loading and driving 6 or 7 times back and forth that day, loading vehicles, that he could have met up with Roy Simpson or Chad Arnold that day, and they ended up riding back with him and helping with more vehicles.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Churchill Junkyard that he. I can't be super positive, but
right. I think, but who did know was Chad Arnold, because didn't Candace say when she was looking for Summer before she even called in 911 that she drove up to there and she saw Chad Arnold out there by the woods? I think Candace said that.
Talked with his mom. He definitely got my phone number and stuff, and he just was not interested. But he did give a message to me through Fred that Candace was in a vehicle. She didn't walk down there.
The future live, but I thought that's interesting. You know, the that Chad Arnold and Roy Simpson and the Jamie's vehicle disposal, and Fred's house. It's all like one line. Yeah, it all is aligned together there. And, you know, you say Laurel Run Park, you know, right behind Laurel Run Park. Right there.
Wow. That just made me, sorry for cutting you off, but what do you think about maybe, oh my gosh, would Chad Arnold also be involved in this? If he was out there with Ron or Roy Simpson, and maybe Fred just named Roy because he's
dead one.
The dead one that can't talk.
Yeah, because he said they. He didn't say him. He said they. You know.
Yeah, he did say they. That's right.
What I don't get is why everybody's saying that that he would be grabbing her and she'd be kicking and screaming, and how he could carry her away. I have not once seen evidence of Summer kicking and screaming and fighting people off. Like, her personality was going with, you could see her every single video. She just latches on and follows anybody around.
I have to disagree with that statement, because you've also never seen Summer in a situation where she was being kidnapped or feared for her life. So that statement was a little off-putting to me.
Yeah.
Right. Or even Chad Arnold could have called Roy Simpson to come pick him up or something.
Yeah, Andy was down there. Maybe Andy was meeting with Chad and Roy. Who knows?
I think Chad and Roy were there for Fred Hill. I know you don't want to let go of Andy Bernard in this, but I'm pretty sure Chad Arnold and Roy Simpson, if they were up there on Ben Hill Road that day, they would have been there helping Fred, not helping Andy Bernard. They would have been helping Fred.
Wait. I'm confused now.
Right.
Wait, you don't think Chad has anything to do with it then?
No, I said, I don't think Andy Bernard does. You do. That's the difference.
God. Oh, yes. Andy Bernard definitely has something to do with it.
No.
Yeah, that's
I
my
think
top.
if the most that he might have to do with anything is they paid him off to keep their mouth shut because they saw him up there that day. He saw them up
Why
there.
would he be back there? What would Andy be back there for?
Well, I don't know if he was back there
And why
that
would he
same
lie?
day.
Why would he lie about being back there if he's on camera? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so you're for sure, you believe that he was back there and on camera?
Yeah, I believe that because that's what
Okay.
Fred said. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just what I'm going by. And like, but
But see, the on camera that I heard was he was on camera at work.
No, Fred said there was cameras footage shown at Ben Hill that the law enforcement has, and that they know
Right.
that Andy was on that road that day. Now,
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. I haven't really heard that where it was clarified.
but that's just Fred. I mean, that's if you want to believe Fred or not. We're going through Fred, so we don't know. It's
well, I know that no. Fred said no to you, but he went ahead and said, well, he may have something, but no, it was Cotton Simpson. He told you no.
I didn't hear no. I just heard well, he may have something to do with it. But
yeah, but he said no. He said no, but I mean, some way he may, but no. He said no. That's why I kind of wonder. I think it's something else happened that day. I know we disagree. We could disagree. Like, it's good. I like hearing your opinion on it because you did open my eyes to something about, maybe Andy was seen on camera there on the hill because I never have saw that anywhere. I did see he was on camera at work.
It's just because I can't. I would have to believe that that means that Fred was lying to me about, and Laura was lying to me about seeing Andy on the road that day. They had to pull over to let him get by. Like, so they remember the interaction very well because it's only a one-way road and they actually had to get off the road. And
I'll tell you something about people that do meth. This is the truth here, that sometimes 2 or 3 days is one day to them. They don't sleep. Well, so
on camera,
he was loading vehicles and going back and forth. It might've been the same day to him because he hadn't slept, but Andy said it wasn't. Andy said it was the 14th.
Oh, Andy said he was back there, but it was 14th.
Yeah, he said it was the 14th. It wasn't the 15th. It was the 14th that he saw him, and then he had to move over.
That's very possible. I've wondered that. Yeah. I wondered that he got the date wrong, but he says law enforcement has Andy on camera, but I don't know how exactly he knows that. But I guess we'll just see. Have to wait, and I mean, if we ever get a conclusion to all this, maybe we'll know someday, hopefully. But gosh, we may never know if there was actual footage. We won't know some. I mean, we have to just go by. But you're right. It could be. I could see that.
Yeah, we already know that all the witnesses said Fred Hill would be up day and night for days around the neighborhood. Fred Don said that
he sleeps during the day.
No, I'm saying right on here it said Little Boston in a comment. This person, I don't know if it's a woman or a man, Little Boston says, I slept every night when I used to use meth.
Yeah.
So
Fred slept during the day.
Fred slept during the day.
And would stay up all night. So he did sleep at night or during the day. I'm sorry. He did sleep during the day.
Except for that day. That day he didn't sleep. He was moving cars that day.
So maybe he was.
So you can't say.
When he does sleep, it's during the day.
Yeah, like 3 days later.
That's true too. If that's what I mean, that's if this story holds any type of weight. Like I said, I can't as much as I want to believe him. I just know that he's in a predicament right now, being in jail and facing these, these type of charges. It could be a little bit scary. So I don't know. Like, under pressure, is he going to tell some crazy stories or try anything that he can to get out? I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think. I want to believe him and stuff, but I'm just saying I'm trying to be realistic here too. Any other circumstances, like if he was out of jail, and say I would believe him 100%.
Right. But now,
no doubt in my mind. But now that he's in this situation, desperate times call for desperate measures.
But do you also think maybe that he's finally sober too? Like, this is the first time he's been sober in the last,
Yeah. So you're thinking like maybe
years,
actually like being on, maybe now he's actually. Is getting to him and he has to say something? Is that you? I'm kind of feeling like this is like it's really convenient I guess it could be because he's sobered up, but I just don't understand why now though. That's what bugs me about it. And I'm not talking about Fred. I don't think that Fred has any involvement at all. That's my opinion. I don't think that. Now, I don't know how long he knew something about that. Makes me a little uncomfortable.
So it wasn't that long ago. You had a little bit of clear thinking. Your husband told you where the location of Summer Wells possibly was. And he knew at least from that previous February. What's changed? Change my mind. change all of our minds.
Explain it, like how it happened. Basically, Cotton was coming around, like he was trying to purchase a boat that Fred had for sale, like that he wanted a boat that Fred had out there, and Fred went in on it with somebody else, and so Cotton had been coming by there to ask about that boat that Fred had, and Fred wasn't ready to sell it when the first time he came by, so he came by again, and he's like, well, let me check with this other guy that I went in on it with. You know, they kind of split, you know, they purchased it together or something, and that was like the last time he saw him. But him and another guy that was there, the last time he saw Cotton, they followed Cotton out of the holler because they thought he was acting weird. And they sat at a stop sign, like nearer where he went, to watch what he was doing. And he went to that Morrison Cemetery, where...
Unfortunately, where Mr. Roy Cotton Simpson was found unalived.